It is 9:28. As we went into break, we talked about Kordell Stewart being in the studio. What's up, man?
Not much, bro. Not much. I can hear you. I got you. I'm good, bro. What's happening?
Used to be in the studio. This is easy for you.
It look a little different. You guys got it nice and cozy.
We got a banner up.
Y'all got sofas, televisions.
So Reggie's leftover IKEA. That's all that is, man. How you been?
I've been, Ryan. Just, taking it day by day, coping.
Yeah.
Being a single parent, of course, you know how it goes.
I met your son at the Hawks game Friday night.
Sire. Yeah. He, big boy, man. Big boy, he's resilient, man. And I can't say enough about his personality and how he's been able to cling on to things that helps him grow as a young man. I don't know where he gets to.
How old is he?
He's 10.
Okay, so let's work backwards, all right? My son is 10.
Yeah.
He's at the lunchroom table. They playing kickball. He's very interactive with all the other classmates. Yeah. Are they talking to your boy at school about this foolishness?
I don't know because he never tells me about it. But my son does have access to going on computers. Nowadays, we were growing up, Ryan. We didn't have computers in the classroom. Mm-hmm. To get a computer, you had to have some money.
Right.
Nowadays, these kids are given their own computers.
Right.
They're capable of bringing iPads to the classroom and take down notes.
Right.
So every once in a while, if he Googled daddy's name, one time I went and I looked in the little log in the search engine.
In the search, right.
And I looked over in the history and I saw, he said, Kordell Stewart's house.
Right.
He said Kordell Stewart, Porsha Stewart. So I see my son going through this stuff.
Right.
And so when I see that, I say to myself, okay, he's being intuitive. Mm-hmm. He wants to be in the know because it's coming from somewhere.
Right.
Whether it be daddy being Slash, playing football to whatever. If he's just going to find that, you're going to see all the other stuff that goes along with it. And so he's asked me a couple questions like, Daddy, how you doing? You good? I said, I'm good, Daddy. Everything's going to be okay. And I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from.
Right.
So when I get on the computer.
So he's saying to you everything's going to be okay.
He's just talking to me every once in a while. He says it in very subtle ways, and I never could catch it.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he asked me, he said, Dad, you doing okay with everything, Dad? He said, because I just want you to be happy.
Wow.
My 10-year-old son, Sire.
Wow.
I promise you, when he says that kind of stuff, I said, man, Daddy good. Man, let's go in the backyard and play a little football, show you how good Daddy is.
Right.
So, I go back and tackle him and we play or whatever. But for me, it's all about keeping my son's mind in the right place through all this foolishness that's going on.
Right.
Whether it be my wife still today on paper running her mouth, saying things that she's saying about she found out about the divorce on Twitter, to the mama being on the show, which I don't watch the show, Atlanta Housewives, saying that I only saw my wife one time at the hospital once when we had our miscarriage. Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to the Twitter thing, my wife has said to me many times after coming home 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning,
right,
maybe 4 in the morning, because she's trying to hustle like the Nenes of the world and everybody to get
Everybody wants to be Nene.
Everybody wants to be Nene. Mm-hmm. And so my thing is, after a couple of times of it happening and me not knowing, because I'm at work, my hours, 2 to 6.
Right.
When you do a brand new station, do you ever go home directly?
No, you got to stay after. You got to do post-show meeting. You got to talk about the next day. It's not like you're out. People think you do 4 hours and you bounce.
Okay, so you're building your brand
right
at 92.9 The Game is what we were doing over at Terry Fox, who's our PD on that side. And so, through all that, I'll get home or whatever, and my son would say, when Mom's not there, is Mommy coming home, or did she make it home yet? I say she'll be home in a little bit. She's out doing her thing. She's working.
And he's talking about Porsha.
Yeah, talking about Porsha.
Right.
And so we wake up the next morning. My son would ask me, did Mommy make it home? I said, yeah, she's sleeping.
Right.
So when my son asked me these few times, I have to figure out, how do I make him understand what's going on? He doesn't deserve to have to deal with that.
Right.
When there's 2 parents in the home. If anything, we should be eating dinner together, finding a way to get it done, or making sure that when the kid goes to bed, that you go in there and check on the kid and say,
kiss him goodnight.
Kiss him goodnight.
Right.
Even if it's 3 in the morning, you still give him a kiss on your open eyes and feel your presence.
No doubt.
I had to deal with that as a kid. My mom passed away at 11. My dad did it, and he did it the right way.
Okay.
I have custody of my kid. It's my obligation as a dad, as a parent, to make sure that my baby is good. Right. And I say my because you see where it is today. If I say the other half, it's not doing her part to even call and check on the kid. Not even being concerned about it.
Right.
And so when you have all that in place and I ask the question, hey, what's the deal? Why you coming home? What's going on? What do you mean?
Right.
I'm grown. I do what I want to do.
That's a quote?
That's a quote from Porsha, from my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that happens, I'm kind of messed up a little bit because I ain't never had this gangster talk to me from my woman before, from the standpoint of you doing your thing, but it's supposed to be about the household.
Right.
Because you got to remember, Ryan, I played a game of football for the Steelers for many years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been through my trial and error through the game of football, ups and downs, rumors, all that crazy stuff.
Right.
And when I was done playing a game, I said I wanted to make sure when I was done, the monies that I've made, I want to inject that into my family to be.
Right.
I had a son already. Cyrus been here.
Mm-hmm.
Porsha came on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
She married into the Stewart family.
No doubt.
I didn't marry into the Williams family.
Right.
That's her people.
Right.
She married into the Stewart's family. So when I went out my way to make sure that we were situated, we were good as if I was still playing the game because I was capable of purchasing cash, my house for my family.
Right.
When you come out of your mouth and show that type of disrespect, you don't know how much that burned me up inside. To know that I've always been about team concepts all my life.
Right.
Whether it be my family, whether it be my teammates from the age of 7, all the way until I was, 34, 35 years old playing the National Football League. I'm all about everybody pulling their weight. Everybody doing their part. And the person that actually may suffer if no one pulls their weight is the child.
Right.
And so when my wife tells me she does what she want to do because she's out doing what she's doing, for whatever reason she chooses to do it, when I allow Bravo in the house, I went against the grain of who I am and what I represent. I'm private, and I had to compromise everything about my manhood from the standpoint of, okay, I'm going to let these people in, let my wife do what she do, and that's it.
Right, but, as we talked to Kordell Stewart, the day that you were outside the window and she came on to the show when I was in the afternoon, the very first day, I said to her, this is going to change your marriage. And people who are listening to the show, remember that. I said to that, I said, I don't understand why people get married and do these shows. And it, from the moment she went from 2,000 followers to 80,000 and once the show aired.
But it didn't take, for me, it was going on before all that.
Okay. So with the show comes back on Sunday.
Yeah.
And when they taped it last week, I got a mysterious text message. And they were like, hey, Porsha's in here talking real reckless about Kordell. And I said, okay, I'm not, I know everybody involved. Let's just see how this all plays out. And then it airs. Why is she playing this card about questioning your sexuality? And why have you waited so long to talk about it? Did you think that it was going to go away?
Well, first, let me respond to that. Those rumors that I got arrested for lewd acts
right.
in the park. One, I never got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a record in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
It went from one park to another park. I got arrested from one place. I've never been arrested in that state nor that city.
Mm-hmm.
As an African American in the game of football at that time,
right,
and how I was being scrutinized at that position, making millions of dollars in Pittsburgh,
right,
an Italian town, German, Polish,
right.
The last black quarterback that was in that city was Joe Gilliam. They ran him off for Terry Bradshaw.
Okay.
I wasn't going to allow me to, not one, make my money, keep my job, let alone indulge into a rumor that was not true about me. And so I said, as you mentioned, oh, it's no big deal. It'll fly over. It's like barbershop talk. Because I got the phone call at my house on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Said, Kordell, man, what you doing? I'm like, I'm at home watching. At this time, it was Thomas Crown Affair in my basement. I tell you, I remember it vividly.
You remember the day?
I remember the day on a Tuesday.
Okay.
And I'm in my basement watching the movie Thomas Crown Affair in the basement. So I got a phone call on my the house phone, not my cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's about maybe 9. Like, what you doing? I'm like, dude, I'm watching the movie. What you doing calling me on my house phone? Why you didn't call my cell? Because NIGGA, you didn't answer the phone. Right? And so I said, what's going on? He said, man, I almost had to bust somebody upside the head. Now, mind you, he's a at-home doctor or a nurse visiting patients at the house. Yeah. And he walks around with a cane. He went to TSU, and he was like, man, people around here saying you got arrested. I said, when did I get arrested? He said, yesterday, on a Monday. Now, this was after the Houston Oilers game.
Right.
In Three River Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there saying to myself, I couldn't have gotten arrested yesterday. I'm just trying to make sure this was a dream or you just talking, you being funny.
Mm-hmm.
We had to watch film and we had to work out on that Monday.
Right.
After that, we hang out with the boys. We go to Dave & Buster's because Dave & Buster's was out then at that time. We go to Dave & play video games. We go paintball, do the paintball, all that kind of crazy stuff. So Tuesday comes. I go and give me a quick workout, come home. I haven't been to jail. Nobody have a record on me. That was a rumor that just started just because I wasn't playing good football at that time.
So they say he's not playing good football. He's gay?